All right, welcome back to another episode of The Zone Presents. I have Russ Epperson in studio today. Russ, how you doing, bro?
Good, doing awesome.
Thanks for coming in.
Heck yeah.
It's been, I heard about you for a little while, and finally we get you over here to talk about your story, so I'm pumped. Are you ready?
Heck yeah.
Cool. All right, so Russ, I know you're a little bit about your past, but the people don't really know. So, you're 18 years old. You're not going to go to college.
No.
You're kind of barely getting out of high school, right, so to speak. Give us a little bit of that perspective where you're at, with your life.
Yeah, honestly, just really had no drive, no direction. Didn't know what I was gonna do. Knew I wasn't gonna go to college. Wasn't for me. Buddies going into the Army. Wasn't gonna take that route. So kind of just bouncing around job to job, looking for some structure and looking for, a career path.
Now, what state are we in at this time?
Arizona.
Okay. A little hot out there, too. And so you're waiting tables is what I hear?
Mm-hmm.
And what was that like? Was that fun?
No, I didn't hate it at first, but you start to hate it towards the end, for sure.
The lifestyle. I mean, I believe it or not, a little familiar with that lifestyle. But it takes a toll on you over time,
Yeah, for sure.
So when did you realize you were destined for something much larger than waiting tables?
A couple years ago, maybe like 22, just kind of really started getting fed up with, like you said, the lifestyle and looking for something bigger.
Yeah. And a lot of times we meet individuals that came from, whatever they were doing before. And one of the things they always tell us is like, money was good or money was bad, but like the culture and the atmosphere was where I was lacking, my success and my future.
For sure. And you kind of know how it is. The server money's like, it's good enough. So it's like you get complacent.
Yeah.
Making $200-300 a night, but it's like there's no room for advancement at all.
Yeah. It's easy come. I remember when I was 19 years old, whatever I made, I spent that night.
Yeah.
Like make it and then spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it and then spend it and then repeat. And like you can't get ahead in that kind of environment, So then before you got into even looking into our company, into solar or anything like that, like what was it leading up to, this opportunity that you really recognized you had to make a change, so to speak?
Just started getting into trouble in Phoenix, kind of rolling with the wrong crowd, and I knew like it was gonna end up, basically jail or like dead, I guess.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to switch something up. So I kind of just got out of my environment, moved with a buddy up to Washington for about 1.5 years and just completely changed my lifestyle. I was working a 6 a.m. job versus a 12 p.m. like a 12 a.m. job, so just regular kind of
completely
just switched up. Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yep.
Oftentimes people actually stay in that spot for a minute, and then there's no chance of getting out of it because they're so far into it.
Yep.
It says a lot about you, brother, to get out of it. But you were young enough, which is really, really cool. So then you're 1.5 years in Washington, and then is that when we came calling or you came calling? What happened?
No, actually, COVID hit, right? So I lost my job. I was working at Safeway.
Okay.
Kind of just lost my job at Safeway. There wasn't really anything else up there. Jobs weren't like there was no job opportunities at the time. So I just moved back down to Phoenix with my parents, basically to be able to support myself. Because
full reset again.
Yep, full reset again because no money's coming in. So had to go back down and then kind of just was in limbo for 1 year. I was actually on unemployment for 8 months, just trying to figure out something to do. And then I took a trip to Miami with another one of my buddies and just fell in love with Florida.
Yeah, how can you not?
Yeah, right. It was awesome. So I moved here 10 months later and then was serving again for about 4 or 5 months. And I actually was surfing Indeed because I was just like so sick of serving. I was like, I got to do something else. I was looking for some kind of boat job or something on the docks, and I just found Lumio. I liked kind of the description of the job, so I gave it a shot. I applied. Vez got back to me pretty quick.
Shout out Palm Bay.
Heck yeah. And then I was in there for an interview, I think 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah.
And he just kind of lit the fire.
Yeah.
I got super excited. I finished up my week at BJ's where I was working, and I told him, like, hey, I'm going to be trying something new. So I had him keep me on the schedule, just working weekends for the first month while I was kind of trying this out, and then took off.
You, dude. A lot of people don't, they're not smart with it when they make a transition. Either they cut the cord of where they were before and they say, I'm all in on this, which, don't get me wrong, that's kind of how I did it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That other, financially, you have to support yourself at some point.
For
so
sure.
working 2 jobs, that must have been a little bit difficult at the time.
For sure, yeah. Especially like people in my ear. My manager at BJ's like, solar.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's because he's the manager.
Right.
Still wearing the big pants.
Yep.
And the big belly and.
So I mean, so, like I said, just kind of had me thinking like maybe I should kind of not put all my eggs in one basket, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a good. I mean, hey, you had to be smart because you've had a lot more life experience, at this point. Because obviously, I think you said you're in your mid-20s, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is how long ago was this? Like a year and a half ago?
This was March.
Oh my gosh, guys, we're talking
5 months.
5 months. He's already on the show, guys, and he's already been doing something pretty remarkable in this space. So now we're a month in of working 2 jobs, and we are noticing that we're getting success. That's when you started?
Yeah, actually, I got a deal my first day. Obviously, mostly luck.
Yeah.
Just kind of a lay down. And then, so that really like lit the fire. And then I think the next week I got 2. So basically my manager at BJ's told me that there was guys who left 3 months prior, and he's like, they're not even getting paid. And then first week I'm already getting paid.
In solar?
Yeah. So I was like,
we're different.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, man. But again, for you to cut the cord, so to speak, and actually put all your eggs into this after seeing it says a lot about you.
Yeah.
But like during that time, because I think a lot of people go through this in their first 60 or so days. So let's go back mentally to I've cut the cord from BJ's. I am now working full time in solar. What was your schedule? Kind of talk about those next 3 weeks, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So I kind of was just, I guess, dealing with the growing pains. Working just a lot different schedule, a lot more, I guess, demanding and regular structured, I guess, because serving is you pick up a shift here, pick up a shift there. Yeah. It's you don't even know next week what days you're working.
You don't really need training. You just need to be a body, be able to speak.
Yeah, so just kind of, like I said, working with the growing pains, figuring out if this is something I actually want to do, because then, there's people telling you that solar's a pyramid scheme, stuff like that. And actually, I worked for Primerica for a few weeks years back, and I mean, Primerica is kind of a pyramid scheme, just how the way they run things. So I was just cautious, I guess.
Yeah.
And then really started kind of getting it down, getting comfortable on the doors.
Yeah.
And then
How long did that take you to get comfortable on the doors?
I'd say comfortable 3 weeks, a month, but till it kind of fully clicked and I felt like I knew what I was doing, probably 3 months.
It's faster than I did. It took me a while. It takes a lot of people. Everyone's different. Some people figure it out in the first couple of days. Some people take a couple weeks. Some take a couple months. But I think the schedule and the hard work is where you will find your success no matter what it is. So during that time when you were going through it, because you picked up pretty quickly, man, I'll be honest, what was your schedule like?
Off the doors?
From when the moment, certain time you woke up, what you did during that time before you get to the meeting and then after?
It was honestly pretty close to what I was doing before. I was waking up late still because serving job, I was working super late. Yeah. Still waking up late. I mean, I've never been big on working out. I've been getting better at it, but never hit the gym. I never, just woke up whenever I woke up. Yeah. Kind of ate whatever, breakfast whenever.
So no real structure?
No structure.
Just kind of going through the motions
Going through the motions, yep, for sure.
When did you change that?
When I really started to kind of realize that this is the next step, right? Yeah. This is where you could get out the rat race and actually make something for yourself. And once I kind of realized that I didn't want to just be, because you see guys come and go through the office, so I didn't want to be one of those guys who gave up after 2 months. I really wanted to make sure I gave it 100% and decided it was something I can't do before I decided it was something I didn't want to do.
Very cool. Put the fork in the road and make the decision. Yeah. I think what happens is oftentimes when we have that fork in the road, we choose the easiest route. Behind every single failure is success.
Yeah, and I actually kept my BJ's job for longer than I needed to, just because I was I didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I don't know if I can do this sustainably. But
imagine if you knew this was going to work out. You know what I mean? That's some of the things that we try to share with people is hey, I know it's going to work out for you if you're willing to put in the work for it.
For sure.
It's if you want to get in shape, then meet me at the gym at 5 a.m. and work out for 2 hours.
Right.
Then success in your physicality will change,
It's I guess you just have to realize it really is what this job is, exactly how much effort you put into it, you'll get back out. And once you kind of realize that, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, makes it a little bit different because obviously, dude, you're sitting here starting in March. It's now August, right? Or even September. We'll see. But the point of what I'm trying to get is, you've had the success. You've hit, relatively a nice little home run to get yourself started, to get your foundation, to get your systems in place so that you can start to really expand. Because don't get me wrong, I love that you're setting deals right now and you made that progression to the self-gen role right now. But like that step, step one is setter, step two is self-gen, step three is closer and beyond. And so, what does it look like for the next, let's say, 6 months for you? Would you have like a plan in motion?
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to hit closer before year's end. That's kind of my goal right now. Obviously, just working on being the best setter that I can be so I can have those leads for myself to be able to close. I just hit the metric about 2 weeks ago, so I'm still learning the closing process.
Let's go, baby.
But yeah, super eager and just want to be a sponge and just soak up all the information I can and
now,
be as knowledgeable as possible.
Outside of the job, because I know your work schedule, I kind of know that pretty well. But maybe you can tell them, like, meetings at what time?
2 o'clock.
And then you're out in the field, so what?
Yep, 3 to 8:30.
Yeah. And then in the mornings, what's your schedule like? So
morning, wake up by like 8:30. Try to eat breakfast as quick as possible because I want to get my digestive system going and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll usually go for like a run, not long. It's like a mile.
Bro, you're going.
Mile run, or like just hit my gym for 15 minutes, just something to get. Or I'll play tennis.
Yeah.
I'll play tennis like 2 or 3 times a week, just to get the body going.
You have to.
And then just set up the appointments for the day. I try to read at least 30 minutes.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, Atomic Habits.
Okay. Very cool. Any excerpts you want to give to the group right now that you like?
Just kind of the whole butterfly effect thing, like one small decision now compounds to the future and can make a big difference.
You're living it right now, bro.
Heck yeah.
You really are. Well, it makes a lot of sense, man. I think one of the things that's is important is the people that you surround yourself with. So is there anybody back home you want to shoot out and say hello to?
Yeah, for sure. Just the boys in the office, Derek, Senecola, Eric Carter, Austin Rodigger. Really, I love my mentors. Vez Sloan, he's a solid guy. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it and gave it as much effort as I did without Vez. Garrett Swenson, he's a dog.
Nice. Yeah, they're all dogs. You guys did quite a bit of numbers last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, here he is. Russ Epperson. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, here we go, guys and girls. Here's our top setters from last week. In 5th place with 3 sales, we had quite a few of you. We had Jaden Wetton out of Venice, Jepson Dace Bennett out of Venice. We had Donovan Leonard out of Texarkana, Henry Moses out of Ocala, Anthony Yoder out of Miami, and Austin Mattard out of Cape Coral, all with 3 sales. Excellent job. With 4 sales, we had Elizabeth Harris out of Panama City, Daniel Larson out of Orlando 2, and Kyle Sharpkoff out of Charleston. And at top spot, we got Zach Stidham out of Palm Bay with 5 sales, leading the entire coast. Excellent job to all you guys and girls on this list. Here are the top closers from last week. In 5th and 4th place, I guess you can say respectfully, with 4 sales, we had quite a few of you. We had Evan Romo out of San Antonio, Jacob Pearson out of Panama City, Jeffrey Richardson out of Fayetteville, Isaac Bennett out of Panama City, and Colby Free out of Orlando 2. In 3rd place with 5 sales, we have Tony Sissio out of PSL, Cameron Thompson out of Ocala, and Jensen K out of Venice. And the 2nd place spot with 6 sales last week out of Ocala, we had William Thomason. And in the top spot, the top dog on the week, with 8 sales out of Orlando 2, we had Dylan Days. Excellent job, Dylan. Great job getting those 8 sales. And everyone else on the list, good job getting a list. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's your top teams from last week. But while you're looking at that, these are the individuals that made it happen. Special shout out to Zach Stidham. Had 5 deals closed and started on Thursday. What? Let's go. George Hazen. 2 self-gen deals as his first week as a self-genner. Love to hear that, George. Elizabeth Harris hit a 4 spot. And guess what, boys? She's the only girl in your office. Let's go. Dylan Days, 8 closed last week? What? Keep it up, Dylan. Daniel Larson, a.k.a. Huss, my dog, 4 top spot of the top setters. Let's go. Cole Little, 3 spot, started on Tuesday. Let's go. Hey, Billy Robing, 3 in his 3rd week. Keep it up. Colt Little, 3. First week after boot camp. Love it. Kyle Sharpkoff, third week, and he 4-spotted. Let's go. Evan Romo, 4 closed last week. Keep it up. Emmerich, Greg, and Derek Torres, 2 new reps, 2 sales in their first week. Let's go. And last but not least, Mr. Anthony Yonder hit 8 closed deals in 3 weeks at a setter. Just started out. Excellent work to all you guys and girls on this list. Let's go.